It's good to see. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
How long has it been that we haven't seen each other in
I
person?
think I East versus West 5. You're probably
So
better with me.
it is November 2022.
Is it really that long?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
5 years.
Man,
No, sorry,
time
sorry.
time flies. Time
Two,
flies.
two, 2.5 years.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know what I was thinking.
Man, time flies. Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. That's unbelievable. November 22. Um,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I'm literally stunned by that. But that's awesome. But thank you for having me on. It's. I
yeah,
really appreciate the fact that you reached out after seeing the video yesterday. Awesome.
yeah. There is nothing, just like the time is the best healer of a
Yeah,
lot of things. Yeah. So how are
absolutely.
you doing? How are you doing? What's your weight right now?
Yeah, well, I'm doing well at the moment. I'm on the way. Eating carbs again now. I went through a big phase when prep for my last match where I was not eating carbs, but now I'm eating carbs again and doing a lot of powerlifting training, which has been really enjoyable. So my weight for me is pretty much bang on 100 at the moment.
Hmm.
So I think I can I can go anywhere. I mean, I can get up. The heaviest I've been is 107, and the lightest I've been in a walk around sense is like 90, 91, 92 in my walk
You
around. So
are you
that
are
seems to
you your heaviest is 107.
heaviest was 107 when I faced Schoolboy, which was. But
Hmm.
mind you, I look like my own father then. Like I see photos of that, and I was really fat, and it didn't look good. So yeah.
Yeah.
But they're much better now. My approach in the last sort of 6 months has been to, I spent the better part of the first 10 years of my arm wrestling career focusing on my hand and wrist, and then in the last sort of 3 years, I've been trying to work out how to backfill and actually become strong in the rest of my body. And so I think I'm finally starting to get my head around that with a good powerlifting coach. I'm really enjoying just lifting heavy things in the gym. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
like long.
you're getting back onto the table. Did I hear?
Not so soon because I just started.
Okay.
I think I'm like maximum. I don't know, like maybe with some forearm and like specific things. I may not be so far. Maybe like 70% of my best, but like other things that like shoulders, chest, upper arm. Like and also the table. I think I'm like maximum 50, 60%. Yeah, I'm
But
hoping. Yeah, because it has been so long and so difficult, so exhausting. Last 3.5 years. Yeah, it wasn't easy because I had been on mission and a lot of things I had been trying to do by myself. Are you there? Yeah, because I see you frozen. Do, do you think that you should go out and come back again because your picture is frozen? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, he came. Sorry. Yeah. Now it's moving again. Yeah. Yeah. What were you saying? I didn't hear you. The connection wasn't
I,
so good, but
I, I was going to ask you, did I see footage of you pulling Mindaugas taracitis? Was that just the other day that you released on your Facebook page? Was that current, or was that from a while
no,
ago?
no, it wasn't. If it was current, yeah, I would just come and like probably give help to anyone up to 85 kilo. But it was right after I beat Viorel Dobrin. I
Okay.
pull a super match with Viorel Dobrin, and Mindaugas pull. the best 78 kilo, and right after that, yeah, we were training. Yeah, but I was heavier than him. I was
Okay, you
about
look.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was, I was, I was, I was thinking that was current. And I was like, oh man,
No, no,
Hankins
no,
looking.
no. If it was current, how can I be 50% or 60%?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that day he could hold me like this, and still I would give him trouble that day. But not now, Just yeah,
Unreal.
and yeah, and so how is everything going? Yeah, you mentioned yesterday you made a video. A lot of people reached me out, and people said, Ryan made a video about you and things like that, and
Yeah, yeah. My,
Ryan. Ryan, it's again, like your not really good connection. Is it? Yeah, yeah. I think yeah. Everyone is saying the same. It's not only
everyone's
me.
saying,
Yeah, yeah. But now it's
I'm
moving
on.
again. Yeah, I think.
Okay, I
Yeah.
apologize. I
No,
apologize.
no,
I'm
no,
on my
no problem.
Wi-Fi.
No problem. Anything can happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I see you. Like I see you that you are more involved in the elite arm wrestling. With your
Yeah.
subjects and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays there's so much to talk about. With your events are happening so often that there's just a constant flow of subjects, and
Yeah.
and the battle for who's supreme in the world. Obviously, Levan's there, but it's heating up with Devon and Hermes and Vitali and even and Michael. Like there's just so many people that are chomping at the bit and coming for that top spot. So I feel like the sport's getting quite interesting at the moment, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Levan's going to be defeated by any of those guys, but yeah, it's like it's an exciting time to be a fan of the sport. I feel
Mm-hmm.
so. I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to be back creating
Yeah.
content.
Yeah. And when did you start your YouTube channel?
Sorry, my phone just started doing weird stuff. Then I apologize.
Yeah. When did you start your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel 2013,
13,
2013.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
about like around like 2018, 17, 19, like we didn't really think that, East and West, would be pulling against each other. Like if you remember those years that like we had a lot of polls on the social media. What if this guy would pull this guy? What if this guy would pull that
yeah.
guy? And now, like every 6 weeks, 7 weeks, they are regularly pulling against each other. And so it looks yeah interesting, and we have very very good matches in the next event.
Do,
It will be
do
King
you,
of the
do
Table
you,
14.
nice, nice. When will those when will all the matches be public for those next
um
events?
I mean, all this week, like maybe 2 or 3 announcements every day,
Yep.
and then we will boom boom boom, every day, just I like to make community happy, just share
Yeah.
those matches, and then when they like it, I'm happy,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Boy, you're putting food on a lot of people's tables too. Like I said, as a YouTube content creator myself, I constantly have something to talk about. Like that you can't keep up with it. Every day I wake up and I check
Mhm.
what controversial thing has been said by one of the top 10
Yeah.
guys in the world. There's always something.
Yeah, you would think that those Eastern Europeans are like the respectful, quiet guys, but yesterday, Vitaly Laletin also said a lot of provocative things. He said
Yeah.
about Hermes.
Oh,
Hermes said, "Don't listen, Hermes." Hermes says this kind of things just to prove that he is still better than me, and things like that. And a lot of people wrote on. Of course, I don't miss it as an opportunity. I make a poster. They both go, and then underneath, people write the comments, oh yeah, Hermes is still a lot better than you, and some people says no, now Latin is better. Yeah, in the
well,
past, the
that
difference, like 6, 7, 8 years ago, we would only talk about these things. Now these are reality.
yeah, and I like seeing that there are a significant number of fans behind more than just one athlete. I mean,
Hmm.
for a good period of time in the sport, Devon was really the only guy that had a big following and a big
Yeah,
wave of fans behind him.
yeah.
Now, now
He
there's
has been the
now there's
locomotive. You know. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I think yeah, he still probably has the most,
Yes.
but the Hermes fans are out there and are just as loud, and the Latin fans and the Suplenkov
That,
fans, the
that was the
Levan
main goal.
fans.
That was the main goal. Yeah. I just wanted. I just listen. Devon has been the window outside of arm wrestling world, you know, and like he really did very good job with that one. And our main intention was that when people comes in from that window, we wanted them to find something beautiful. Wow, there is a league. There are weight
Yeah,
categories. There are regular events. There are rankings, titles. You
yeah,
know. Oh wow! So this is something to be taken seriously. That was, and I wanted all those arm wrestler fans to become arm wrestling fans as well,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
you know,
But
like we wouldn't want Michael Jordan to retire and nobody likes basketball, or we wouldn't want Maradona to quit and then, oh, okay, football finished for me. As I said, you know, Devon did the best job about this, but we want
yeah,
everyone to remain to be an arm wrestling fan.
yeah.
We want them to see the beauty of the sport, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've done a good job because it's set that way. Like looking at it from my perspective, I see so much depth now in the fan base, which
Mm.
is the biggest thing for it to become that legitimate sport. And watching the crowds turn up at your events, it's pretty intense. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well done. But also, I'm curious, thinking, do you? Uh, I want to ask about the race for the top at the moment. First question, do you think anyone's going to beat Levine like in the next 2 years? Do you think it'll happen? What do you
Ryan,
do?
I should be asking these questions. As an organizer, I can't. Some people says, Engin, you can share your opinion. It's okay, you know. And some people says, no, no, no. Once you share your opinion, and then
Yep,
people will start like, oh, Engin wants this guy to lose, Engin wants this guy to win,
I
Engin wants
gotcha.
this, like
I
they
gotcha.
are just waiting like this, you know, just to attack, you know, as an opportunity. Oh, Engin said this. Did you hear that? You know. So. I don't know. I don't know. I better ask you. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like it will happen, but I think the reason it'll happen is because there's more than one wolf sort of coming for him. There's a pack of wolves coming for him, and it's hard to defend against four guys. And I think there's 3 or 4 guys that have a shot legitimately at him in the
Who are
next two
they?
years. For me, the most dangerous, in my opinion, is Hermes. I think he might do it on this next one. Probably not, but he might. But I think Hermes, I think Vitali Laletin, I think Devon, and then outside, just lesser chance, I think, is Michael. But the first three I mentioned, to me, are all very dangerous, and Levan to defend against all of those different styles. He's got a lot on his plate. And I feel like he will fall in the next 2 years. I feel like he will, and it's a race to be the one that gets to wear the crown first. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I,
Yeah.
I, I love I love the tension between those 3 guys, because those 3 guys put like anytime Hermes, Vitali, or Devon are facing each other, it's a bloodbath as well. But they're all kind of like, if they don't get in each other's way and everyone has a crack at Levan one after the other sort of thing, I think he'll fall. I think he will.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think the things are going to get more and more exciting, and I think that Ryan, it is not possible to enter a war and remain sinless.
Yeah,
You understand? So, but the main goal for all of us, is to bring, like, there is one thing in common. with in all of us, that we agree, we don't agree with each other, there are some beef or this or that. There's one thing, that we love arm wrestling. We all love arm wrestling. And another
Yeah.
thing in common, we want to see this sport as a mainstream one. Like we want to see this sport in arenas with thousands of people coming, and it's already started, and
Mm.
coming and watching. Did you see the venue for the Arlington?
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
looked amazing.
and that is something like to be proud for all of us. Yeah, all of us, and we all have some portion in it. I do, you do, fans do, athletes do, sponsors do. We all like, some maybe a little bit bigger, some a little bit less, but we all do, because we
Yep.
all are, in the same boat. And I think that, yeah, no matter uh, what has happened on the battlefield, I think that there is something that unites all of us, which is the love we have for the sport, and the goal that we have. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree, and my experience of the sport has been nothing but amazing. To be honest, I think I've had the pleasure of traveling to 16 different nations so far. I think that is from last count for arm wrestling, and that to me is pretty amazing. And in every nation that you go to, you're welcomed, and even if you don't speak the same language as the arm wrestlers that you're visiting, it still
hmm
feels like you know them and that you've known them forever because you grew up and we're all arm wrestlers at the end of the day. So it's
yeah,
an
yeah,
easy
yeah,
language
yeah,
to
yeah,
speak. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it never
It, it,
stops,
it,
too. It's got to be the best sport for longevity out there. I don't think there is another sport that has this degree of longevity to it, where you can still be a world champion in your 60s, for goodness sake. Like is
yeah.
Todd Hutchins 60 yet? He must be close, isn't he?
58 or 59, and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And he's
I,
about to
I
pull Rustam Babaev. And uh, like, you are one of those guys. Like, I will tell you, in last 5 years, the
yeah,
the the number of the fans really grew a lot. But
yep,
there are some people that knows like the history as well. You are
yeah,
probably maybe 20 years later than me, probably
yeah,
about
yeah,
your start. But still, you are not the newest generation. You said that 2013. So
yeah.
when did you start arm wrestling? 2010 or something?
Yeah,
Or
2000, no, 2013. I started arm wrestling, so I'm
oh,
12.
okay. But you know the history between Rustam Babaev and Todd Hutchings, right?
Oh yes, yes, I remember the
Yeah,
the 6-0 at the Vendetta that they last faced. I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that'll be. I mean, that's a pressure match for Todd, given how Rustam did run over him last time. Like Todd has looked so good the way he's dealt with Irakli recently, but you can't help but feel like when Rustam faced Todd last time, it was 6-0 and it was a dominant 6-0, and Todd couldn't, like Rustam was just dictating the lanes. Todd couldn't even put variation into the match. It was just the same thing over and over and over again. So I don't know. Like one thing that you got to give Todd credit for is he does like to go away and train specifically for an opponent, and he does identify which vector is going to be the problematic vector, and then he goes and makes that really strong. So he will no doubt
hmm
remember what Rustam did in terms of what technical lane he used. And Rustam was just so fast last time. And I remember hanging out with Todd Hutchins one time. It was when we were in Moldova, and he said to me, he said, "My problem is I'm American fast. I'm not Bulgarian fast." So I don't know. I think that the speed of Rustam was a problem last time. So I can't wait to see how he deals with it. But yeah, Todd's amazing at his age. So is that is
hmm
that is that match on the May 10 card?
Yeah, 95 kilo world title match.
Amazing, amazing, very good. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
the
will be. Yeah, but it's not the same Todd. Like Todd that was giving his pronator and going inside. And
now he's
guys,
dragging
don't
outside.
block this guy. Just put him
Yeah. Oh yeah, someone doing
time
it.
out.
Too
Yeah,
much spam. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Just people are like really some
Yeah. You know.
ill-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will have 95 kilo world title match. And I'm telling you that Todd was giving his pronator. It was
Yep.
making everything easier for Rustam.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Rustam couldn't control Todd's pronation. But right now, like, listen, whenever somebody is beating Todd, if you realize those are the people usually controlling his pronator with the wrist. Once you try to take his wrist, you are over pronating and you are actually missing here because you are pronating. And once you are
Yep.
missing here, it means that even Todd is losing his hand, he still has pronator. So then he's
Yes.
hitting you, and like you are thinking that you find a weakness by taking their hand, but
Yeah.
actually you are really going into a trap. Yeah,
Yeah. Walking straight into his power.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. The most vicious loss I've ever seen on Todd Hutchins was probably either against Prudnik or maybe even Alan Makiev. Um, I don't,
yeah. But
if I,
listen, those tournament losses like are a
mm,
bit different. You understand? Unless it's a
yeah.
really really fresh match. You understand? Yeah, of course it
Yeah.
counts and everything. But the super match is a little bit different. Like, I mean, you may have round one 30 seconds match, while the other guy that you meet at the round two had flash pin on the round one. So it's not the really like
Yeah.
real outcome. Of course, there's no
Yeah.
excuse. You go to the tournament. I mean, you need to win. You know the conditions. Anything can happen unless you are one head above everyone. Anything may happen. You may be the best guy, fresh or fresh. You may end up 10th place there. And
No, I like that for Todd's first 95 kilo world title defense. He's got to face Rostam because there's probably other guys that are also worthy of the title match that Todd would be more confident against. But I like that he's got a hard match stylistically. He's got to prove that he can turn it around. So that's awesome. With the longevity, Engen, I was thinking about it the other day. Devon's just turned. Devon turns 50 pretty soon, I think, if not already. Uh, I feel like Devon will arm wrestle forever for sure until he dies. Do, I reckon. I reckon he might be. I know I'm going a long way into the future, but I can see with the longevity of the sport, given that we have arm wrestlers that are world champions in their 60s.
mhm.
I reckon Devon. I'm going to put the prediction out there that Devon will be the first world number one in any given weight category at the age of 70. I think if he's still
Mhm.
around at 70, Devon will be still going.
Yeah, yeah. There is a super chat. Provin Astrology says, what parts of the world have had the greatest growth in arm wrestling interest recently? And has that translated to pay-per-view sales yet? I'm not 100% sure, but possibly Europe. Possibly Europe. Like,
Yeah. Well, I can
yeah.
I can say look, of Australia. In the 13 years that I've been involved in the sport, I've seen the national. At any given club in Australia used to have two or three people. Now it's got 30 or 40 people, and in each city, the capital city of Australia, there might be five or six clubs. So
Hmm.
we, we've seen really big growth, and I feel like everywhere around the world would be doing something similar.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
right. Every
yeah.
every national championships in Europe, the numbers are doubled, tripled. You understand? Like today, we had
Well,
Turkish nationals with 1,783 people. Like
yeah.
not the like registered arm, is actual people. And it like
Yeah. Yeah.
almost like near 2,000 people at the national championships, and many of them are qualified in their city to come there.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same as India. When it comes, I've been to India a few times again, and the
Yeah.
numbers there, the numbers there, as you can imagine, with their population, um, they have they cap their state titles, and they'll have thousands at their state titles, and then have to cap their nationals to 5,000 people or something like that because they just got so many people interested in the sport. So I think everywhere it's
Yeah, it's
growing pretty
everywhere.
quickly.
The Romanian championships, German championships, French nationals, Norwegian nationals, like all over, all over. The numbers are growing like crazy. Like
And,
we
and, and I
they
and I
just. I will tell you something. Like you go WAF and then you ask it. Just go to the junior competition day and ask those junior guys. Who are your favorite arm wrestlers? I will tell you. 95% of them will say a name from the East versus West stage.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
this
yeah,
is really inspiring. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, what WAF is doing is the most important thing. Just like you understand everything I'm saying, you are a knowledgeable guy. Just look at those guys at the East versus West. More than
yeah,
95% of them, like the really top ones, are coming from WAF. They
yes,
came as a junior guy, even sub junior guy, and the junior guy. That competition between them, the Kazakhs, Russians, and the Georgians, Ukrainians, Bulgarians, Turks. They just European championships. They fight. They learn something. Go do the homework. Come back. Go compete again. Wow! Next year, Europeans, even the
yeah,
national championships are so hard. So that competition is just making the sport growing, and
yeah,
then the
yeah,
best ones are coming to the our stage, and so look at those guys, like Levan is from there, Gennady is from there, Morozov from there, Laratin from there. Michael has competed 4 or 5 times. I can't say that he's
mm,
grown like in WAF, but yeah, I just see bright, like future is bright. The only thing is that we need to make sure that we stay unified.
yeah,
That is my opinion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've had a different pathway. I did pull WAF in 2015,
Hmm.
and that's I think the only WAF championship that I've pulled. But I because I tried to make it a career, and I got to the point in 2018 where arm wrestling was earning enough for me that I could call it a career. So my pathway to growth as an athlete for myself has just been through more the commercial side of wrestling as opposed to the WAF side.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's awesome watching the sport grow. Talking about national championships, and I got to do a shout out. You know of Rickard Bornman in down in Australia who's
Hmm.
doing really well.
Did
But
you did you
yes,
know that he will be in the next North American card?
he will be.
I think I
Yes.
think I think I think I think looks like
Oh, look,
possible. Yeah.
that you make sending shivers down my spine hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of Rickard Bornman, but that is hugely exciting. Rickard's strong. He's really strong, and he's young. He's he's in his third year now of the sport, and I can't feel. Some arm wrestlers you can feel the limit where they are, and
He's
then
what,
you get somebody.
115 kilo? What's his weight category? Heavyweight,
He's
not super heavyweight.
no, he's 127 kilos. He's a big boy.
Oh, then he
He's a
will be
big boy.
super heavyweight now.
Yeah, he can get down to 115, but
Okay.
he's a big boy. Yeah, he's very big. But I got to give him a shout out again. Talk about the genetics of his family. He's got a 16-year-old brother who entered South African nationals 2 days ago, and he won the juniors in the open weight, and then he won the 110 kilo seniors as well. And he's only 16, and you go, there's something in the Bournemouth genes that might make these guys strong. So there's another one coming. I feel like the Bournemouth brothers will out of South Africa will be a name that we all talk about for many years to come. I
Mm.
just they're too strong too quickly. Like you don't see many 16-year-old winning senior men's nationals at 110.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
yeah.
that's
So
interesting. Yeah.
exciting. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. Awesome to hear.
Yeah, a lot of people are surprised that we are doing the podcast together right now. And yeah, that may be surprising, but we have been for 1 year. We have been communicating,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
messaging, Instagram. We have been communicating, and yeah, yeah. And uh, where do you see yourself as a commentator and as an athlete?
As a as a commentator and an athlete, so from the very beginning of my involvement in the sport in 2013, I was dreaming of doing both, and I always said to myself, I'm going to run them in parallel. I'm going to become an athlete, and I'm going to become a commentator. I think what actually makes me a good commentator, at least part of it, is the fact that I studied the sport so relentlessly in terms of the technique. When I started as an arm wrestler, I wasn't strong. And I recognized that, well, if I'm going to become a national champion or whatever that I was pursuing at the time, I'm going to need to move very efficiently. So I said to myself, I trust the strength will arrive, and I'm just going to focus purely on mastering the movements of arm wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of doing that and becoming a better athlete, I think I started to identify what was going on, and that translated to my commentary. And so I really enjoy commentating in a way where I just describe what each athlete is doing, what they're trying to achieve, and I feel like I can see it almost in slow motion, and I'm able to convey that to the audience. So I do really enjoy the commentary side of things. So I've often I've often, if you were to chart my progress in the sport as a commentator next to my progress in the sport as an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
I I think my commentary is better. I tend to rank higher in the world for commentary than I do
Yeah,
at the
but the
table. But
reason is that there are not so many people that can
yeah,
commentate, and there are not so many people that are invested. You understand in like commentating,
yeah,
while there are hundreds of thousands of people probably training for arm wrestling. It is a little bit tougher. But still, there are not many people that can commentate
yeah,
like for example, like I'm a knowledgeable guy about arm wrestling, but I'm not a native English speaking guy. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So but I must tell you that like you have been traveling for arm wrestling. You
yeah,
have been traveling. You have been like in US just to promote arm wrestling, and you represented your country, and like there is no doubt about your love for arm wrestling. There is no doubt. You and
yeah,
I, we had our disagreements and everything, but that is totally different. It has nothing to do with what I am talking right now. Like
yeah,
nobody can deny that you really love and you are how to say obsessed about arm wrestling, and I was the same way. I was the same way. If I am still or not, I don't know. But when I was very young and when I went to US, only for just because there were so many tournaments to compete, and I kept on my mind. I didn't write anything like how many tournaments, hundreds of tournaments competing, how many categories I won, who I beat in the final, like I stopped after counting how many Russians I beat and how many times I lost them. I had like 60 versus 5 or something, and then after some point I was like just everything just out. If I really think, maybe I would remember, but I was trying to, like, one time Rambet says that Engin knows about Rambet more than Rambet knows about Rambet. Because first time I met him, I was just saying, hey, you remember you did this there and you did this there, you win this category, and the guy was like, who are you?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I could certainly relate to not having a good memory about my own stats. I mean, I get in trouble all the time for contradicting myself. So I know I got to learn to keep my mouth shut a little bit more often. But
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I get I understand the feeling. It's a long journey in the sport as an athlete. But I know that I'll be in the sport for life. I
Hmm.
I no matter what, I enjoy it too much.
Yeah.
It's become, like I said, 13 years in now. It's become. I think it really is a part of me. If I wasn't, you couldn't offer me a job for $1 million salary a year if it meant that I had to go away from arm wrestling. I just
Mm.
wouldn't be interested at all. So
How old are you
it's
now?
I turned 40 in a
So
few weeks' time.
you started arm wrestling very late then, huh?
Yeah. I 20,
Oh.
28 years old, or 20, 27 and a half when I started arm wrestling. So
Very
yeah,
late, yeah.
prior to that, I was in the military, and then the sport that I was into as a kid was tennis. So always into something, but arm wrestling from the age of 27. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
year did you start? How old were you?
I
Were
was
you
like about 16.
16? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
I was 16
What was
and
that?
yeah, I started at 18th birthday. I became second in seniors. And
Okay.
19,
How long till you
19
won your first world title?
I won my first world title before I turned 20. I was still 19 in the senior
Okay.
category. At that time, we didn't have the junior, sub junior, youth. I don't understand the 23 years old guy is just pulling youth category. I was like,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. It's good that, they remain in the sport, because as soon as they turn 19, if they are in the seniors and they get destroyed a couple of years, maybe they would
Yeah.
be discouraged. You understand? So they keep them
Yeah.
until 23, so they are still, building. It's good. It's good what they are doing. Yeah, but we never had that kind of chance to pull. I never. There was no junior category when I was competing, and
Yep.
yeah. How about Samusha versus Pauline, the revenge match at 95 kilo on May 10th?
May 10th. Okay. Samusha, is that how big is he going to be? Because he's normally what, an
Usually he's
85
around
kilo?
90 kilo. Usually he's around 90 kilo and going down to 85. This time he's
Oh,
90 kilo. Probably he will try to bulk up. So I think that he will be 92, 93 kilo.
wow. That's a big
Last
step.
time they pull, Paul was 100 kilo on the scale and
Yep.
Samusha was 87 kilo. So if
Okay.
Paul gained a few kilos or something, there was about 15 kilo. And this time they will be around the same weight. And at that time, Paul was still new in the sport. I mean, when I say
Yep.
new, still,
Yep.
he started late. He didn't start as a young guy. And Paul improved a lot. And then Samusha also, it was his first match after COVID. You understand? So
Yep.
right now we will be seeing like in like their best
There
shape.
was
And I'm curious
was
about what Samusha can do in 95 kilo.
yeah was that match against Paul Lynn the last time Samusha lost the match? Well, hang on. Is my memory correct?
Paul won 3-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul won. Paul won. So is that the last time Samusha lost, or has he been
Yes,
defeated since?
so that was the first and last time Samusha lost at the East versus West. He pulled 11
Okay.
times. It was his first match. He pulled
Yep.
higher category, and then he won 10 matches in a row. So
Yeah.
Paul is
Okay.
the only one that beat Samusha. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it will be interesting. So if they're gonna meet at that weight at 95 kilos, that's a scary sounding Samusha for sure. That's the first factor that I think of. But then I also think of Paul Lynn is um, Paul Lynn is one of the best people I've ever seen at weight cutting. So
Mhm.
Paul Lynn will weigh in at 95, but then he'll compete at 102 or 103 or something like that. Like he's
At least
so good
100.
at
At least 100. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so he still will be the bigger guy, I think, on the day. But a Samusha at that weight, you know that he's going to have more horsepower behind him. That means that his defense is going to be even more of a wall than it already is. And I remember from that first match that they faced that that Paul tends to like Paul's got to pin Samusha fairly early. I don't think Paul can win the long battle if they get stuck down in center and they're putting their frames against each other. Samusha's going to come through, so Paul's going to have to be the one on the offense and yeah, it's a hard one to pick because of all these new variables. But then again, when I think about the way Paul pulled through Lachlan Adair at King of the Table, I remember I was there for that, and he looked absolutely savage the way that he was able to keep his pronation high whilst driving sideways in a hook, and that's what he got with Samushia. He was able to just keep that pronation high enough and get those critical pins, but my gosh, a big Samushia, that's an X factor,
You
and
know what
who
was
knows?
interesting? Like Paul beat Lachlan much more convincingly than Krasimir did.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and
and then
then Krasimir beat Paul. You know.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I'm wrestling math. It's pretty
yeah.
wild sometimes, but
Maybe it was the style thing. Maybe that they were in like what shape. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah. So I
yeah.
think maybe it was the case. Yeah.
Do you think that Samucha will uh, make make himself a 95 kilo puller permanently, or like has
I
he
don't I
just
don't
run
think
out?
so. He won 10 world title in 85. He said he wants to win two more to
Yeah.
make
So
make it 12, make it 12. Or what is he already 11, or maybe he's already 11, or I don't know. I think he won 10 of them. Yeah.
is it Nerdalad from Kazakhstan was the only one that really came close, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was very close, and also Sasha wasn't that far either. Sasha lost
Yeah,
4-2,
yeah, yeah,
and
Sasha.
and
Yeah,
Nurdalet lost 4-3. But if Nurdalet had any of this shoulder press, he could have won. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I invited Nurdalet Aydarhan to pull Samushia, but around that day, I think he had either Asian championships or something, so he couldn't make.
Okay.
But if people think that why we don't give match to Aydarhan is more than welcome anytime. He's my brother, and he's incredible. So there is no doubt, that the date sometimes, because the guy pulls Kazakhstan nationals, Asian championships, world championships. It is not that easy. It's not that
Yeah,
easy. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think Kazakhstan's got an arm fights or something as well, where it's Kazakhstan versus Uzbekistan coming up as well. I think I saw something like
yeah,
that the
yeah,
other day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
after this podcast, what time is it? Probably right after this, I will announce a match that people will be surprised. I think.
Okay.
I think.
I'll, I'll be watching your Instagram. I'll be
Yeah, yeah.
watching.
Very soon we will be sharing the posters everywhere, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
nice. Well,
and
you got me excited when you said Rickard Bornman is going to be in a US one.
that that
Hey,
that 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 is like most likely that is most likely, but soon to
can you can
finalize
you
it.
can you like? Is there like three or four names that you can mention that his opponent might be?
Oh, no! We don't have any opponent yet.
Okay, okay.
I'm just
Schoolboy.
thinking to invite him.
Schoolboy.
I'm just planning to invite him, but we don't know the opponent. And something new just I learned. You said he's 127 kilo. What I
Yes.
remember not long ago, he was about 115, 120, around that he was.
Yeah.
So it means
Yeah.
that now he became a super heavyweight guy. So we need to. Where do you think he is? That like when I do the matchup, so if I invite him, where do you think
Yeah.
that we should set him? Like is he like a
Well,
Dave Chaffee level? Probably not.
look. Honestly, look, if I was considering the match, I would set him Schoolboy. I find that
Ah,
story
okay.
very interesting. That's
Hmm.
who I would set, and I think it'd be a great match. But like he's like after he beat Don Underwood in his first international match very convincingly, he then gripped up with Ron Barth in the afterpulling, and Ron Barth couldn't move him at all, and Ron Barth just bowed down to him. It literally did that and said, "I can't move you a centimeter." So and Ricard just
Also, this
just
this
held.
guy this guy is then very good. Yeah.
Yeah, he held Ron, and Ron could not move him at all. So yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
strong. I don't know where that puts you. Like how much higher than Ron is Dave Chaffee in horsepower? No doubt some, but I don't
I
know.
mean,
That's
if Ron was in his prime, we would be talking about different. But Ron is also probably about 63 years old, or 62,
yeah,
63.
yeah,
And so I don't know, but I'm sure that he's still very very strong. But yeah, you gave me some ideas, and then maybe we talk about it
Yeah,
privately, and I will ask your
sounds
opinion
good.
because you are from there, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't know anything you would like to add, and what would you think to commentate again at our
Mm.
event?
Man, it would be a dream come true sort of stuff. To be back in that environment would be amazing. So, yeah, if you think that I can add value to the East versus West
No,
commentary
no, no.
team,
I'm
again,
telling you,
I'd
my
love to
friend.
love.
I'm telling you, you come to East versus West or not. There is no doubt that you are one of the best commentators. You know, and
Thank you.
you love it. You do that with passion, and you break down the matches. I mean, yeah. I mean, you yeah. I mean, for sure, yeah. I mean, I
But
enjoy.
yeah,
I enjoy. And a lot of people write the same thing. You know, they enjoy
yeah.
as
No,
well.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that sentiment. And so, yeah, look, I would be honored. I'd be honored to get a call to say, hey, let's do something again. And everything that happened in the past, as you said, we sorted it out a long time ago. And there's nothing but respect for me
hmm
towards yourself and East versus West and everyone in the sport. So, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
do it.
I don't plan to involve, you know, forever. You know, that really tires me,
Yeah,
exhausts me. But I just feel I'm still needed,
yeah,
and until at least, you know, we reach to the main goal, and then we will be around, you know. But after that, you know, of course, there will be, like, look at now, Robert and Dexter. They are doing great job. They also have passion for arm wrestling, and
yeah,
it made the things easier for me as well. They took some of the weights, you know, from me, and I think that, like, I am not telling you that, like, that's what I meant when you are in a war, you know. You don't stay, you know, like, pure, you know, without any mistakes or something. But just sometimes the pressure is too much, you understand, because
yeah,
I have competitive nature. It is, I don't give up. I give up. I don't
yep,
give up. I just, when I'm done,
adjust.
I move aside, you understand. But you
Yep,
can't really, I'm not talking about you can't really make me give up. I remember myself, like, 6 7 years old, fighting with twice size of me guy, 10 years old. He beat him,
yeah,
I fall down, cry, still attack him. At the end, he ran away. But I didn't quit. I got beat up, but I didn't quit.
yeah. That's the
So
difference. Yeah.
what I just try to say that. So when I started something, I would like to finish it. So I did, and I got exhausted a lot. And but I'm just saying that. Yeah, I think everything will be better, you know, from now on to the future. Yesterday I saw your video, and yeah, you were right about it. um, we can discuss and may not
Yep.
agree about inviting you as an athlete for now. Who
Yep.
knows about what the future
Yeah, yeah,
brings? But about the commentator, yes, there is no need to be like, stubborn, and
yeah.
not to involve you when we know that you are good enough. Yeah,
I
that is my
appreciate it.
opinion.
I
Yeah,
truly do.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Ryan, would you like to add anything more? And I think that we should discuss more about arm wrestling on social media. I think we need to do some program with by adding some other guys that who are passionate about arm wrestling, and we can yeah, we can do some more analyzing about the
Yeah.
matches. Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure that people would enjoy. You know, people would enjoy. Yeah.
well, yeah. As the matches come out, that's the part of the sport that I enjoy. I I enjoy analyzing how two athletes will likely collide in a technical nature. What shapes we can expect to see, what problems we can expect to see each person run into if their A game doesn't get them success. That's my favorite thing to do in the sport is just to imagine the shape of matches, and I get so excited when some matches come together because you just think, oh my goodness, the shape of this match is going to be brutal. But yeah, so once you start releasing all those, the next round of matches, will get stuck into it for sure. And I'm enjoying doing that from my YouTube channel at the moment. I'm like I said, I
Mhm,
wake up
mhm.
each morning and the first thing that I check is what's East vs West released,
Yeah,
or
that's what you
what
should
is
do,
someone said.
Ryan. This
Yeah,
community needs more of those things. You know, we make the content, and people like yourself, people like Ray, you understand,
yeah,
people like Pradeep, you understand, you guys
yeah,
love it, you understand, you guys love it, and nobody would be part of this without loving you, you understand. I mean, there
yeah.
are people they would do it, but without love, that
Yeah,
will,
you won't keep going.
it will not be good, you understand. Without love, nothing is
Yeah,
good. That's why the mother's food is the best, you know, because they do with the love, you know. And
it's
yeah,
true.
so I think that, yeah, that is how we should do it. We should make more content, and people like you do the analyzing, also compete, and when the right time, why not again competing as well, but not now. The level is just crazy, 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 crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, if I end up at an East vs West as a commentator, for me there's so much of a thrill just to grip people that are there on the side table and get practice side table grip ups with people. That's exciting. I want to grip up with you, Egan. I think even just a practice pool with you, if you're in training shape, people
Yeah,
would
if
love
I'm in
that.
training shape, we can do it. Yeah, in training shape, we
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah, but yeah, trust me, like that hurts a lot. You know, a lot. You
Okay.
know, just like 30, more than 30 years. You know, and some people says, but Todd Hutchings is 58 years old, but Todd Hutchings started at 35. There are 23 years of miles. You know, you understand? You
Yeah.
know, yeah, it's a little bit, of course, but also the guy is genetically like different breed. You know, you look at him, you don't think that kind of power he's gonna generate, but I mean, he's crazy strong. Yeah, yeah, he is strong. Yeah, and like
It's
whenever
good.
I look at him, he doesn't look that strong. But whenever I look at him at the table, the things he is doing, then you understand how strong he is. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
we will
No, he's
see.
different.
Yeah, yeah, we will
Sounds good,
see.
Egan. Well,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you having me
Yeah,
on,
yeah. Same for
and thank you,
thanks
thank
for
you.
coming. Let's do a brand new beginning,
Yes,
and then let's focus on what we have in common, which is the love for we have arm
love
wrestling,
to
and
see it.
then yeah, the best thing to cover the bad memories is to build good memories. You know. Yeah,
Sounds good. Couldn't
yeah,
agree more.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Take care of yourself, Ryan. Take care, and thanks to
Thank you,
everyone
Egan.
who has been watching us. Yeah, take care.